In these latest episodes of Next Moto Adventure, join Paul and I as we test ride the new Aprilia Tuareg, featuring Aussie road racing legend and two-time Ironman TT champion Cameron Donald.
I'll be leading the ride, so it's a controlled ride to give you guys a full sample experience of the bike and an environment where you can get a much better feel for the bike.
After a quick debrief, we then mount up for a quick taste test of the Tuaregs on the tar through the winding roads of Mount Glorious, Queensland.
Yeah, how light is it though?
We are then treated to an ABS and traction control display by Cam, showcasing the bike's capabilities.
Oh, you legend. Yeah, that's a lovely and a stoppie for free.
From there, it's a quick squirt in the dirt on some unsealed road known as a goat track to test the bike's off-road abilities.
Oh, is he not back yet? So he must have come off. Yeah.
We're still missing one rider in the sweep and things aren't looking good.
One in every group.
What did he do?
He's ridden off the edge, not hurt, not crashed, but he got the bike stuck. But we'll see, if it was too low, I'd say we'll go down and with a group of us, we'd carry it up on our shoulders.
All this and more coming up next at the Aprilia Tuareg demo program, Mount Glorious, Queensland.
Alright, so here we are at my place. Grant's just rocked up. So we're off to do the experience for Aprilia Tuareg, the 660. So we'll go and see what they're like. Do a full review. So here we go again on another short Next Moto Adventure. Woo! Alright, here we are. And glorious. For the Aprilia Tuareg experience. Look at those Aprilias, they're already dirty.
As we arrive at the popular Mount Glorious Cafe, we're greeted by a fleet of Tuaregs in their natural splendour.
Put in reverse.
As Paul gets a helping hand from the Moto Guzzi rider, we need to set one thing straight.
I said it's a Moto Guzzi with saggy tits. That's what they say, is it? Yeah.
That's just me explaining to the Moto Guzzi riders what a BMW GS is. Then, with a standard issue BMW Latte in hand, we then signed up and chose our bikes. I got a blue one, Paul got a red one. And we're both stoked to catch up again with Ironman TT champ Cam Donald. What a legend. Aesthetically, the build quality of this bike is superb, and the fit and fare and the quality of the componentry are above average. But really, what else would you expect from a quality manufacturer such as Aprilia? They've really done their homework on this one, and the numbers are impressive. The colour schemes of these bikes are definitely eye-catching, and they come in three colours: Indigo Tegel Must, that's the red, white and blue one, Acid Gold, and Martian Red, which is my favourite. So jump on board with Paul and myself as we get to taste test these delectable Aprilia Tuareg 660s.
There you go.
No
video. We accept swearing. It's okay.
Thanks guys for coming. This is the last stop on our Tuareg thing. So we've done Victoria, New South Wales and now Queensland.
We're the best for last, good.
Sorry?
Best for last, then.
Save the best for last. The best weather,
Yep.
I think we've had. So yeah, my name's Jared. This is Cam. He'll be the lead rider. So yeah, stay in front of him. Oh, stay behind.
It's not part of the contract.
No.
If you can stay in front of them.
Yeah. Another hat. Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
So Cam's
Good
won
luck with
Ironman twice. So yeah, if you can stay in front of him, he does pretty
Good
well.
luck.
But yeah, not
My ego
today.
really shattered.
Not today. So yeah, this is a bit of a controlled ride, gives you an experience of the new Tuaregs. So we'll leave here, head down, turn left towards Sanford. you obviously know the roads down there, and then we'll turn right onto the go track. So that's the off-road component. When we get to the go track, we'll go off the road a bit, pull everyone over and flick through to off-road mode, I think, or...
Okay, we'll talk about that when we get down there.
Yeah. So we'll give you a quick run through on how to change the modes. We won't go through too much on the bikes before we go. When you get back, if you've got questions, you know, we've got Al, who is the parts and accessories guy. And we've also got Matt, who's the Queensland dealer manager too. So any questions, please ask. But yeah, a bit of a control ride. We'll be using the corner man system. Is everyone familiar with that?
I'll be leading the ride, so it's a controlled ride to give you guys a full sample experience of the bike and an environment where you can get a much better feel for the bike. Mountain road and some off-road sections instead of just like a dealer test ride. When I get to a corner, I'll be leading the ride. Jared will be at the tail. I'll point at whoever's behind me and point where I'd like you to stop. So the person behind me pulls over and sits there until they see Jared, and Jared gives them the thumbs up. You can just jump in the middle of the group, you'll be fine. If anyone does have any issues with bike, gear, any problems, just pull over and wait till Jared comes and finds you.
When we get going again, don't try and do your own ABS and traction control. That's the only incidents we've had. So people not thinking about, you know, people behind and testing their ABS.
Old mate that didn't realise he'd switched traction off.
Yeah.
And gave a fantastic throttle.
And we come around the corner, he's facing the other way. So yeah, just watch cam, trust in the systems. The good thing about these bikes is you can change it all on the go, and it's nice and easy to switch the traction control. Basically you've got setting 1 to 4, 4 being the most intrusive and 1 being the less intrusive. And you can just do it on the go.
We've got you, come around guys, we'll give you a very quick spiel on this. So this is the Aprilia Tuareg 660, really exciting release. Keep saying, you know, KTM Yamaha releasing a adventure bike, no one questions the off-road capability. Aprilia don't have a big background recently for off-road. They have in past years, but not for some time. So I think we're all wondering what it was going to be capable of, and it's certainly blown us away, and pretty much everyone that's tested and ridden it so far, how capable off-road it is. Extremely agile. 204 kg, so it's the lightest adventure bike on the market. 18 litre tank. This whole section here is actually airbox. Fuel tank sits quite low. And
just above the rear shock.
If you look down, see that black box? Under there, that's the bottom of the tank. So that shows you how low the weight is. So had a lot of 10RA riders jump on this and straight away go, wow, it feels so light. So it holds its weight low. So 1821, very standard off-road wheel sizes. You know, progressive link suspension, long swing arm. It's really just like a big dirt bike. KYB suspension, which is a real gem. It's incredible. So you'll feel today how it gives an enormous amount of support. It is quite performance orientated as a base setup. It's in the middle of the clickers and you've got full adjustability. So what we couldn't believe on the press launch was deep lookout sand where most adventure bikes would just tie themselves in a knot. This worked incredibly.
Yeah.
So that was really impressed people. Very low seat height too, as standard. Nice flat seat, easy to change your weight forward and back, once again, like a big dirt bike. But when you look at the dash, and this is the really good thing about the Aprilia, it is so easy to use. So we switch it on. Who here rides with bike currently with electronic modes, options? So that's fine. For those of you that do, you know how complex some of the systems can be. This one's quite straightforward. These no clutchless shift, it's just normal bike. Clutch in, change gears normally. Clutchless shift is a pretty option, accessory, but these standard, they're just normal. So that's your mode. We've got them set in Explore. ATC stands for Aprilia Traction Control. Like Jared was saying before, there's the modes to go up and down. You don't have to go into a menu, press buttons. You've got that easy toggle. You can do it just with your thumb. Higher the number, more intervention. 4's max. 3, 2, 1. And the best thing is, we want you on the dirt to actually feel the difference. I'll show you at the demo, it'll make more sense. I just don't want to overload you with too much information before we ride. But the best thing is, which adventure riders have been screaming for, you come down a trail, there's a creek crossing, slippery rocks, or a sand hill, you want your traction off. It's about the only time you really want to turn it off. You can just hold it down, On the fly, it's off, and it says traction disabled.
It's super easy to do. If you're not that confident, just leave it on number 2, and then as you get a bit more confident on the dirt, flick it down to number 1. There's a huge difference.
Well, 3 standard, and even 2s are good. 1, I'll show you in the demo what it does, so I won't go into that anymore now. Change modes. That button under your start button. So we're in Explore. That's urban, which is just your general street. Explore's road mode. Explore gives you a little more of a direct throttle response. And then you've got off-road. When you click it on off-road, it disables the rear ABS, which is what a lot of off-road riders want, so they can do skid turn stuff like that. I'll talk more about that at the demo. But it's that simple, guys, and that's individual. So when you own the bike, you might want to go in and set your own setting, and you can go back to it. Another feature with the Aprilia that most other brands don't offer is whatever you set this at, you pull up, you turn it off. When you come back, it remembers. It leaves you on the same mode, and even if you change modes, that other mode setting will be wherever you left it. I don't know of any other.
No, they don't. It's a great feature.
So it's really user-friendly. 270-degree firing order, parallel twin cylinder, 660, 80 horsepower, light, nimble. One thing I would say, short shifted, feel the torque. They really are, they've got a lot of grunt, really good mid-range motor, very linear power curve, so they can buzz if you want to rev them, but they also are quite torquey. Big wide bars, very light, very agile to change direction.
The engine above 5 is so good. There's so much power.
It wakes up.
Which is unlike most other parallel twins, and 660s as well.
So everyone's been assigned a number bike.
Yep.
Helmets on, gear up, hop on. That's a start button. They haven't been run today, so tick them over. They can warm up while you're doing your helmets up, and then when everyone's ready, I'll lead and I'll jump out. Space out. Give yourself some room. If the person in front of you is slowing you down, don't hesitate past them. Give yourself some room. Just give everyone a bit of common courtesy and a bit of common sense, and we'll head off on our loop, and we'll stop when we get to the off-road section.
Yep. All right. I'm sure that my GoPro's running. That's good. I was just having a bit of issue trying to get my GoPro running. I think it's going now, so should be good. These aren't too bad. Hasn't got the power that the Triumph had, but it's that's what you'd expect. Feels pretty nice. Sit in it a lot more, don't you, than the Triumph? You sort of, but the riding position is really nice. How light is it though? I think I had my high beam on there. I just definitely it feels a lot taller at the front there with the 21, but it still handles pretty well. These have got knobbies on too, so twice I've put the high beam on accidentally. It's just when I go for the clutch, it's just in front of your finger there. Anyway, something to get used to. Imagine going off-road on one of these though, like it's, I mean we will be, but pretty light, like it handles so easily, and the seat height's not that high either, is it? There we go, first corner man. We got two corner men. You. No one ever gets the corner man system right, do they? That's funny. Alright. And it was at this time that I lost the audio on my GoPro, so cue the music. The windy roads of Mount Glorious are a perfect place to put this bike through its paces, and they're so much fun. Look at the guy in front of me getting his foot down.
Remembering the fact that this has a 21-inch front wheel and it's got a knobby on it, it actually doesn't handle the twisties too bad for an adventure bike. And the front end feels quite planted. And the 80 horsepower output from the engine is certainly enough to put a smile on your face. The engine feels quite torquey actually for a 660, and the 6-speed gearbox has its ratio set out quite nicely. You feel like you can get the right gear for the right corner. The Brembo 4-piston calipers seem to work really well in the front and are well suited to 240mm travel of that front Kaiba suspension. And the rear seems to hook up nicely too. Then there's that engine sound. That 660 parallel twin just sings. And I can see Paul is testing out that rev limiter. The list of goodies on this bike is impressive. Where do I start? I mean, quality suspension, it's got a slipper clutch, tubeless tyres, electronic goodies like ride-by-wire throttle, engine brake, traction control, cruise control, an 18-litre fuel tank with an over 400k range, and all in a package that weighs not much over 200 kilograms. And all that translates to a light and nimble bike to ride. The bike is also nicely balanced. Here I am riding at about walking speed, even coming to a full stop at one stage. Look at that, 0 kilometers an hour on the speedo. And so as the tar turns to gravel, we pull up and park the bikes ready for an ABS and traction control display by Cameron Donald.
I got one problem. We've got to put the mirrors on that one.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to see what's behind you.
Yeah, one job.
God damn, I'm thinking, I can see behind me.
Don't look back, mate. Just look.
Yeah, just look forward, yeah.
Head over in the shade, because we'll be here for 5-10 minutes just to do the traction demo. We might as well stand in the shade as in the sun.
Gee, they're torquey little bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, they like the rev too.
Yeah, very nice.
So first impressions,
Yeah,
they're very planted.
Very-
Considering that's a big block knobby tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely a bit smoother on the road with the
Yep.
more road orientated tyre.
Yeah.
But they work very well. Most impressed too is the longevity of that tyre. At the end of the day, 80 horsepower, it's plenty. But we're not, like the Tiger. I see some familiar faces from the Tiger test launch. They've got 150 horsepower.
Yeah.
So a block tyre on the back, you can make pretty short work of it.
yeah,
Did mention too, incredibly fuel efficient. That 18-litre tank, getting between 300 and 400 k's of cruising. That's amazing. So big range for your adventure riding.
yeah.
Does it have a fuel gauge? I see it's got fuel on there.
Yeah, you can scroll through.
Yeah, it's a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the little biscuits on the side of show
Oh,
how
is that
much
what it
fuel.
is? Yeah.
They could be quite low, some of them.
Yeah, right.
So,
Good on you.
and then we want to show you how light they are when we push them home.
Push them up the hill.
They're fairly light.
Also got a Tiger test ride. Yeah, so we've got a few. So we're going to do the same thing here. We just want to show people who currently has a bike with ABS. Okay, so most people are used to it. Off-road ABS. So these new systems are very refined and they work very well off-road. So you often say people generally would say when you're off-road turn the electronic stuff off, but this is developed specifically to work off-road. That's when we're talking about the off-road setting. It disengages off-road to the rear, which a lot of hardcore ABS, a lot of hardcore off-road riders want, so they can do the skid turns and whatnot. Personally, when you're riding roads like this or forest roads where it's open, I would rather leave it in an Explorer and still have ABS on the rear. Because if you need to do an emergency stop, you come around a corner, trees down, someone's on your side of the road, you can grab the front brake, stamp on the back and still steer the bike. Where you lock the rear, it can come around on you. But if you want to try, when we go onto this section, I would say leave it in Explore. And maybe if you want to try the different, flick the ATC down a bit and see how it'll light up quite quickly. but maybe leave it and explore. But if you've got off-road experience and you want to skid the back, then, you know, put it in off-road.
Just remember that people are behind you.
We'll give ourselves plenty of space here, so it will be dusty. It is one way. Those of you that haven't ridden this road, you know, there's not much room for error. It's a big drop-off on the left, so, you know, yeah, we want to keep it on the road. So what I'll do is first, exactly what I did with the Tiger, I'm just going to do an ABS demo. So I'm going to leave it in Explore, but this is excellent here because we're going to go from full grip to no grip, and I'll just do an emergency stop to show how well the computer reads that we've got lots of grip, no grip, without me changing my input on the controls.
Did that surprise you, Paul?
Hey,
Did that surprise you?
it did actually. Yeah, yeah. To be completely frank, I was very surprised. I actually didn't expect it to be have as much torque, as much power as it, you know, for a 660. Geez, you can fling it around. You can, you know, I love that. You pull on that throttle and the growl. Oh, I'd lose my licence on one of them, I reckon.
And so as Cam climbs back aboard the Tuareg for his ABS and traction control display, we're going to leave that for next episode. But here's a quick look at what's to come.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You see it slid, but then it mitigates how far it goes. So I always remind people, can you still high-side and crash it? Absolutely you can. So, you know, at the end of the day, guys, I always say these electronic aids enable you to get the best out of the bike, and they're systems that work and to benefit and to make it safer, but they don't make up for poor riding inputs. We still want to be as smooth as possible with our input, you know. Any questions or any other?
How easy it is to wheel this bike.
To wheel in?
Yeah. If you're an Isle of Man GT.
Camera's off.
Yeah, okay, camera's off.
Yeah, okay, you can do it.
And a stoppage for free.
And off-road too, it's another thing, you know, when you want to go over a washout or a log or something and you want to take the weight off the front. This bike does get amazing mechanical grip.
And with the ABS and traction control display over, it's time for us now to hit the dirt.
Talky little motor.
Yeah, and that's,
It's so light.
yeah.
You know, so many adventure bikes now, they've got benefits but they're so big. This is just so nimble, you know, like everyone's adventure is different, but if you like technical stuff or something easy to manage, how nimble is it?
Oh, feels like half of my bike.
As we were standing and chatting, we then realised that one rider hasn't made it back.
One more, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. There was the younger bloke that requested the wheelie.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I passed him, so
Did you?
the sweep was behind him, and I saw him go towards the.
And the ambulance was behind him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Spooner. I think there's still one more to come.
Falling over, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh geez, isn't it?
Is that good that the ambulance arrived before the sweep?
Oh, he's signalling you down.
Yeah, right here. That guy, he also asked about the insurance. Yeah, he was in front of me, and then he went off to the spoon drain, and but he wasn't in it. And then I
Wasn't there a
passed him
sweep
because
rider, mate?
he was just about to stop.
Oh, is he not back yet? So he must have come off.
We're still missing one rider in the sweep and things aren't looking good.
Get off the road.
One in every group.
What do you do?
He's ridden off the edge, not hurt, not crashed, but got the bike stuck. But I'll see, if it was two-way, I'd say we'll go down and with a
You're
group
gonna
of
walk
us, we'd
Yeah.
carry it up on our shoulders. But,
Let's go all the way around and get him again.
well, we might. So let me just call Jared. If he's stuck, we will definitely.
Yeah.
Just hold fire.
So find out what happens in our next episode when the ride continues for our Aprilia Tuareg demo program test ride at Mount Glorious, Queensland. Thanks for watching. Might see you on the next one.